tax that shocks them the most is this self-employment tax at 15.3%. So let's put math into place here. If I do $100,000 of profits in my real estate agent brokerage as a 1099, I'm going to pay federal and state, but I'm also going to pay this 15.3%, which is what? If I do, let's do math here, people, 100K of income, and I have to pay 15.3%, that means I have to pay what? $15,000 in addition to federal and state. And some people get hosed by this every single year as a Schedule C. Taxation is theft. That's a different conversation. Okay? Can we pause? Get a little 1 in chat if this is making sense so far. Can I get the 1? Can I get a 1? Nick, what is Schedule C? We just went over that. Nick, for you, I will repeat it just very quickly. A Schedule C is a specific schedule in your personal tax return. There's Schedule A, B, C, D, E, F, and I think it stops at F for farm. If you have a farm, people, any of you have a farm, you have to report on Schedule F. But if you have a 1099 business, you're a sole prop, you're going to report that profit and loss in Schedule C of your personal tax return. And you're going to be subject to those 3 type of taxes. Obviously, there's more. If you have rental property or real estate property, you're going to have to pay rental, all that stuff. I'm trying to keep things simple here. Okay? So you might be asking here, okay, Stephen, what's the point here? I'm a Schedule C. Let's talk about when do we transition from this Schedule C thing to being taxed as an S corporation, okay? Let's move on. Let's start to level this up. Again, guys, we started with the basics, right? We started with the EIN, opening up the LLC, the business bank account, separating things, taking owner's draw. Now we're starting to make more money in our business, okay? Can I get a 6 in chat if you're in the 6-figure club? Type a 6 in chat if you're in the 6-figure. You're doing over 6 figures in income, because this will apply to you. Fleur says 5. I'm doing 5-figure club. Okay. Got a few folks that this will apply to you. So if you have your business and your business is doing around 100K in taxable income, okay? Guys, remember, gross income and net income are very different. For those that don't have accounting backgrounds, right? We have our gross income minus our expenses equals our net income. So when we look at transitioning over from a sole prop to an S corporation, we want to look at the taxable income, typically not the gross. We don't care about the gross. Okay, gross is gross. Okay, well, Stephen, let's start talking about the S Corp. All right, let's make some space on the whiteboard because I've been drawing a lot. We have our little real estate agent brokerage over here. We're a Schedule C. We are going to transition this over to be taxed as an S corporation. What do we need to do in order to transition our LLC, taxed as a Schedule C, to be taxed as an S corporation? Okay. Now, really quick, remember, guys, for those that were here a few minutes ago, an LLC can be taxed in different ways. Can be taxed as a sole prop Schedule C, can be taxed as an S Corp, can be taxed as a partnership. These are tax elections. There is no such thing as an S corporation. An S corporation is a specific tax status. Okay? Just want to make sure that's clear. A C Corp, right? That's different. An S corporation is a specific type of election. So this is how it works. You're being taxed as a sole prop Schedule C right now. And you're like, IRS, here's my real estate agent LLC. I'm being taxed as a sole prop. I want to be taxed as an S corporation. What do I need to do? You're going to file a form that's called 2553. Okay? If you have an accountant, CPA, enrolled agent, you're going to ask them, hey, I think I'm somewhere around that 100K in profits. Okay? I think it's time to convert over to be taxed as an S corporation. Okay? So they file that form 2553 for you, and the IRS gets back to you 3 months later, and they finally say, congratulations, Stephen, you are now an S Corp. And you will file your tax returns on the 11th. Nothing changes. You're still going to have the same EIN. You're still going to have the same business bank account. You are going to file your tax returns very differently. Okay? So you remember before we filed our returns on where? Schedule C. Over here, remember we talked about all of this? Well, now we're going to file our returns on the 1120S. Okay?